Niccolò Machiavelli, the notorious architect of power, once whispered a secret that the modern world has largely forgotten. Everyone sees what you appear to be, few experience what you really are. In the realm of psychological warfare, specifically when dealing with a narcissist, this is not merely a quote, it is a survival manual. We are conditioned by society to believe that communication is the universal solvent, that honesty bridges all gaps, and that vulnerability creates deep connection. But what happens when you apply these virtues to a psychological predator? You get devoured. The paradox of the narcissist is that they desperately need you, yet they must destroy you to feel superior. They feed on your words, your explanations, and your emotional visibility. Therefore, the most devastating blow you can deliver to a narcissist isn't a shouted insult or a clever rebuttal. It is the one thing they cannot manipulate, mirror, or misinterpret. It is your absolute strategic silence. To outsmart a master of illusion, you must stop trying to be a good person in their narrative and start being a prince in your own reality. You must win the war by refusing to march onto the battlefield. Let's step into the arena where you currently live. It is a battlefield of words, circular arguments, and shifting realities. You know the sensation well. You enter a conversation hoping to resolve a conflict, hoping to be heard, hoping that if you just explain your feelings clearly enough, the other person will finally understand. But with a narcissist, the conversation is never about the topic at hand. It is about dominance. You say, "I feel hurt when you do this," and they hear, "I am attacking your character." You offer logic, they return with word salad, a confusing mix of irrelevancies, past grievances, and projected insecurities designed to disorient you. The pain point here is not just the conflict, it is the exhaustion of your own reality. You find yourself constantly over-explaining, defending your intentions, and apologizing for things you didn't do. You are trapped in a cycle of justification. The narcissist provokes you, you react with high emotion, and then they sit back, calm and collected, pointing at your reaction as proof of your instability. They steal your energy to fuel their false self-image. You leave every interaction feeling drained, hollow, and confused, wondering if you really are the crazy one. This is the trap of the verbal engagement. As long as you are speaking, you are providing them with ammunition. As long as you are trying to be understood, you are handing over the keys to your emotional state. You are fighting a ghost with a sword, and every swing only exhausts you further. To dismantle this dynamic, we must turn to the master of strategy himself, Niccolò Machiavelli. While history often paints him as a teacher of evil, in the context of philosophical psychology, Machiavelli is the ultimate realist. He teaches us to look at the world and the people in it, not as we wish them to be, but exactly as they are. This is the verità effettuale, the effectual truth. The narcissist is, in essence, a Machiavellian caricature, a tyrant ruling a kingdom of one, demanding absolute loyalty and constant tribute. But unlike a true Machiavellian prince who possesses virtù, skill, strength, and adaptability, the narcissist relies on the fortuna of your compliance. Machiavelli's most famous advice in Tesi, the Prince, is that a leader must be both a lion and a fox. The lion is brave and can frighten wolves, but the lion cannot recognize traps. The fox is cunning and can recognize traps, but cannot fight off wolves. In your dealings with the narcissist, you have likely been playing the lion, roaring, fighting back, confronting them head-on with the truth. But the narcissist sets traps that the lion cannot see. They bait you into anger. To outsmart them, you must become the fox. The fox does not roar. The fox observes. The fox moves in silence. Machiavelli teaches that he who controls the information controls the outcome. When you speak to a narcissist, you are revealing your hand. You are showing them what hurts you, what you value, and where your boundaries are, which simply shows them where to strike next. By adopting Machiavellian silence, you are not just being quiet, you are becoming opaque. You are concealing your intentions. In the philosophy of power, predictability is a weakness. The narcissist relies on your predictability. They know if they push button A, you will cry. If they push button B, you will yell. When you stop reacting, when you stop speaking, you break the causal chain of their power. Furthermore, Machiavelli understood that appearance is often more powerful than reality. The narcissist lives entirely in the realm of appearance. They craft a mask for the world. When you engage with them, you are validating that mask. By withholding your words, by withholding your emotional reaction, you are essentially holding up a mirror that reflects nothing back. This is existential terror for a narcissist. They need your reaction to know they exist. Your silence creates a vacuum. In physics and psychology, nature abhors a vacuum. When you say nothing, the narcissist is forced to fill that silence with their own projections, their own paranoia, and their own unmasked behavior. You allow them to destroy themselves by simply stepping out of the way. So, how do we translate 16th century political strategy into modern psychological defense? How do you become the fox without saying a word? Here are 4 actionable steps to apply this Machiavellian wisdom immediately. First, implement the strategic void. This goes beyond the popular grey rock method. Grey rock implies you are boring. The strategic void implies you are impenetrable. When the narcissist tries to bait you with an insult or a false accusation, do not defend yourself. Do not correct the record. Look at them with a neutral, slightly analytical expression, as if you are observing a strange insect under a microscope, and maintain eye contact for 3 seconds longer than is comfortable. Then, simply look away and return to what you were doing. This nonverbal cue signals: your chaos does not register in my reality. You are signaling that their power currency has no value in your economy. Second, use the ambiguous acknowledgement. Machiavelli advises that one should never declare oneself an enemy openly until the moment of victory. If you must respond, do not use words of agreement or disagreement. Use non-committal sounds or gestures. A slight nod, a thoughtful hum, a shrug. These are not words, they are placeholders. They satisfy the social contract of response without giving the narcissist any fuel. It keeps them guessing. Did he agree? Is she mocking me? Did they even hear me? This uncertainty shifts the power dynamic. They begin to seek your approval rather than you seeking theirs. Third, master the withdrawal of alliances. In The Prince, Machiavelli warns against relying on mercenaries, forces you do not own. In your life, your mercenaries are the emotional needs you try to get met by the narcissist. Stop outsourcing your validation to them. When you stop needing them to tell you that you are good, smart, or worthy, you sever their supply lines. You do this silently by cultivating your own sources of joy and success that you never discuss with them. Build a fortress of hobbies, friends, and achievements that you keep strictly secret from the narcissist. Information is power. Give them none. Finally, execute the fox's exit. The ultimate win against a narcissist is not checkmating them. It is leaving the board. But you must do it strategically. You do not announce you are leaving. That gives them a chance to hover or attack. You simply begin the process of detachment internally. You plan, you save, you prepare, all while maintaining a calm, silent exterior. The day you leave, or the day you finally emotionally detach completely, should come as a total surprise to them. That is the ultimate Machiavellian victory. The war is over before the enemy realized you were even fighting. Remember, the narcissist is an illusionist. They fight with smoke and mirrors. You cannot fight smoke with a sword. You can only disperse it with the fresh air of your own reality. Your silence is that fresh air. It is not passive. It is the most active, aggressive, and powerful stance you can take. It is a reclamation of your sovereignty. By saying nothing, you are saying everything. I am no longer your victim. I am the ruler of my own mind. Stop talking, start observing, and watch their house of cards crumble. You have the power. You always did. Now, use your silence to keep it.